Contamination, an essential subject from Vinipedia. Contamination has become an important theme in society. Contamination of the air, the rivers, oceans, the water, the soil. Practically there is very little left in our Earth's environment that is not contaminated. However, contaminated consciousness has yet to be discussed widely. Actually, all forms of environmental contaminations have come from people with contaminated consciousness. Fixing the contaminated consciousness is the only true way to fix the environment. Because our inner world is contaminated, our acts, thoughts and our dealing and behavior is affected as well. That's why there is so much misfortune and unhappiness in this world. If we purify our existence, fighting our lusty and greedy tendencies through spiritual practices and discipline as described in Bhagavad Gita, we will improve not only our life but also the atmosphere and environment around us. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinicote's contamination category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 14 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. In the material world, everyone is trying to get some material happiness, but as soon as we get some material happiness, there is also material distress. In the material world one cannot have unadulterated happiness. Any kind of happiness one has is contaminated by distress also. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.25. 13. In this material world of conditional life, the fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord, the individual soul, is struggling due to his contaminated mind and consciousness. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.28. 20. Attachment to women is so contaminating that one becomes attached to the condition of material life not only by the association of women but by the contaminated association of persons who are too attached to them. There are many reasons for our conditional life in the material world, but the topmost of all such causes is the association of women. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.31. 35. One who betrays the confidence of a living entity who takes shelter of him in good faith, whether that living entity be a human being or an animal, is extremely sinful. Because such betrayals now go unpunished by the government, all of human society is terribly contaminated. Armad Bh Gavatam 6.2. 5.6. My dear king, the Lord said, because you are a Kshatriya, you have committed the offense of slaughtering animals, both in hunting and in political engagements. To become purified, just engage yourself in the practice of bhakti yoga and always keep your mind absorbed in me. Very soon you will be freed from all reactions to such sordid activities. In this statement it appears that although Kshatriyas are allowed to kill animals in hunting, they are not freed from the resultant contamination of sinful reactions. Book, Chapter 51. As far as fruitive activity is concerned, the contamination is the desire for elevation to a higher standard of life, and for speculative knowledge the contamination is the desire to merge into the existence of the absolute truth. Kaitanya Karatam Ta, Madhya LL 9.277. If one mistakenly considers his position to be equal to that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he becomes contaminated by the doctrine of non-duality, and his efforts in transcendental life are rendered ineffective. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Chapter 1. Myveda philosophy tries to designate the Lord as contaminated by a material body when he accepts forms of incarnation. This sort of interpolation is completely denied herein by the explanation that the Lord's position is pure and unalloyed in all circumstances. Armad Bh Gavatam 2.6. 40-41. In the Bhagavad Gita, K's last instruction is that everyone should give up all other engagements and render devotional service unto him. But after K's disappearance, less intelligent people misunderstood him. They became contaminated with the Myveda philosophy, which produced so many mental speculators that people forgot the actual position of the absolute truth and the living entity. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Chapter 17. As in the medical field, for precaution's sake, the doctor injects a vaccination to prevent the growing of contamination, the practical injection to stop all the fructifications of the seeds of our sinful activities is simply engagement in Kaya consciousness. Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 1. Ordinary ritualistic activities constitute contaminated religion, by which one benefits by developing material wealth and prosperity, but uncontaminated, pure religion consists of understanding one's relationship with God and acting accordingly, thus fulfilling the highest mission of life and returning home, back to Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 7.7. 15. By the process of karma, jnana and yoga, no one will succeed in driving away contamination from the heart, but once a person takes to the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord by devotional service, automatically all dirty things in the heart are removed without difficulty. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.22. 21. Should not consider the Supreme Lord an ordinary human being. Material names and forms are contaminated, but spiritual name and spiritual form are transcendental. Armad Bh Gavatam 8.3. 8-9. Many people go to these holy places and leave their sinful activities there, thus becoming free from contamination. When these contaminations pile up, they are counteracted by the visit of great personalities like our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his strict followers. Many kinds of patients come to a hospital, which may be infected by many types of diseases. Actually, the hospital is always infected, but the expert physician keeps the hospital sterilized by his expert presence and management. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya LL 9.4.